In the quiet hours of a seemingly ordinary morning, the 6th of March began with the promise of a new day. But beneath the tranquility, a mystery was about to unfold, one that would challenge the very essence of familial bonds and trust. This is the story of Anthony Tomaselli, an elderly man whose final moments became a canvas for an investigation that blurred the lines between the natural and the nefarious. Anthony's day commenced like any other, with the world around him slowly waking up. But as the light crept through the curtains, an ominous silence filled the room where he rested. It was a silence that spoke volumes, a foreboding herald of the tragedy that had quietly taken place. To those who knew him, the thought of Anthony's passing was met with a resigned acceptance, an assumption that his journey had ended peacefully in his sleep. Little did they know, this was merely the calm before the storm, the serene facade that masked a reality far more complex and disturbing. As the sun rose higher, casting light on truths hidden in the shadows, the story of Anthony Tomaselli took a turn from a presumed natural passing to a gripping tale of secrets, lies, and a family's dark descent. Join us as we peel back the layers of this case, uncovering the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface of what seemed to be a peaceful end. As dawn broke, Linda Roberts commenced her day enveloped in the routine comfort of her home, oblivious to the heart-wrenching turn her morning would take. With a sense of tranquility in the air, she moved through her familiar rituals, the simple acts of a day beginning that held no warning of the distress soon to unfold. The routine was shattered when Linda, intending to check on her father, Anthony, found herself facing an eerie stillness. Approaching with a light step, a daughter's care turned to confusion, then horror as she discovered Anthony motionless, an unspoken dread filling the room. The air, once calm, was now pierced with the sharp tones of urgency as 911 was called. The home became a frenetic scene of life-saving attempts, the calm morning now a distant memory. Paramedics rushed in, a flurry of activity around Anthony, their expert hands working tirelessly in a desperate bid to pull him back from the brink. Despite the paramedics' relentless efforts, the somber truth began to dawn. Their attempts to resuscitate were met with the unyielding finality of fate. The reality of the situation settled like a heavy shroud over the scene, the hope of revival slowly fading as they pronounced Anthony deceased, leaving a palpable void where once there was life. In those critical moments, the Roberts home transformed from a sanctuary of familial warmth to the epicenter of a bewildering mystery, the peaceful beginning of the day, now a poignant memory overshadowed by loss and unanswered questions. In the quiet aftermath of tragedy, the scene at the Tomaselli residence became a confluence of order and uncertainty. Police and paramedics, seasoned in the face of human frailty, orchestrated a ballet of procedural efficiency. Yet, beneath their practiced calm, questions lingered, silent echoes of the unspoken and unseen. The initial consensus leaned towards the inevitable conclusion of life's end, natural death. Anthony's peaceful demeanor in repose spoke of a final departure free from struggle, a silent surrender to time's inexorable march. The community, the family, poised on the edge of grief and acceptance, watched as the mundane finality of paperwork sealed his earthly coda. As the flames whispered their ancient, cleansing language, Anthony's physical essence was released, a poignant testament to life's fleeting passage. The case, seemingly closed, lingered in the periphery of routine, a chapter concluded in the ledger of mortal affairs. Yet, the still waters of resolution were about to be disturbed. An unexpected call pierced the veneer of closure, a voice on the line bearing the weight of hidden truths. Anthony Marsh, a figure previously unseen, emerged from the shadows of the narrative, his words casting long, unsettling shadows over the so-called peaceful passing. With the revelation as startling as it was foreboding, Marsh's account hinted at a concealed malevolence, a sinister undercurrent flowing beneath the facade of a natural demise. The tranquility of the investigation was shattered. replaced by the sharp clarity of suspicion as the specter of foul play began to materialize, reshaping the story into something far more dark and unpredictable. The quiet rumblings of suspicion soon erupted into a tempest of revelation, as Anthony Marsh's unexpected call to the authorities unfurled a chilling new layer to the tale. Armed with a recording that promised to peel back the veil of mystery, the investigators found themselves on the cusp of a startling disclosure. The recorded confession, a harrowing echo of truth, reverberated through the corridors of justice, its implications as profound as they were disturbing. Linda Roberts and Mary Beth, once mourners of their father, were now cast in the glaring light of suspicion, their words on tape an inadvertent testament to a darker reality. As the tape played, the stark, unvarnished words of the sisters laid bare a plot so macabre it defied comprehension. The investigators, seasoned in the art of unraveling deceit, employed a strategy of calculated confrontation. Their approach designed to elicit the unguarded truth, to fracture the facade of innocence the sisters maintained. Under the weight of irrefutable evidence, the facade began to crumble. The air, once filled with the pretense of ignorance, now thrummed with the raw energy of revelation. The confession, a stark illumination of guilt, propelled the case into the realm of the judicial, turning the sisters from suspects to defendants, their own words the architects of their fate. As the layers of deception peeled away, the heart of the Tomaselli narrative lay exposed, a raw, unsettling tableau of human complexity. The confessions, once secrets cloaked in darkness, now illuminated the intricate psychological tapestry binding the family. The motives, rooted in a tangled web of emotional turmoil, revealed a chilling convergence of desperation and calculated resolve. Within the family's history, whispers of discontent and long-buried grievances hinted at a simmering cauldron of familial discord, culminating in an act unfathomable in its finality. The community, once a quiet backdrop to the Tomasellis' seemingly ordinary existence, reeled in collective disbelief. Neighbors and friends who had once shared smiles and greetings now grappled with the haunting specter of betrayal. The shockwaves of the revelation rippled through the very foundations of their understanding, challenging the trust once placed in the familiar, the notion of safety within one's own family circle violently uprooted. In the solemn aftermath, the judicial gavel fell, echoing the somber cadence of justice served. The sisters, once bound by blood, now faced the stark reality of their actions, their futures irrevocably altered by the weight of their guilt. The sentencing, a grim coda to the tragedy, offered a semblance of closure, yet the scars left by the ordeal would linger, indelible marks on the souls of all touched by the case. This story, a harrowing journey through the shadows of human nature, serves as a poignant reflection on the fragility of trust, the complex tapestry of family dynamics, and the elusive nature of justice. It reminds us that beneath the veneer of everyday normalcy can lie depths of emotion and action unfathomable in their extremity. As we conclude this exploration, let us carry forward the lessons learned, the awareness of the unseen battles fought in the silent spaces of the human heart. We invite you to reflect, to engage, and to join us in the ongoing dialogue of understanding, a quest for truth that extends far beyond the confines of this narrative. And if this story has captured your interest, if it has stirred questions or emotions within you, we invite you to subscribe, to delve deeper into the mysteries of the human experience with us. Share your thoughts, your insights, and join a community committed to uncovering the truths that lie just beneath the surface.